Shola, since a lot of our audience is a New York City audience, and as I said, as the representative of the new administration, I think a lot of people would like to hear your view of your mandate at NYCHA, and particularly how does that relate to serving vulnerable populations in New York City? I think you have to press the button.
There we go. Can you hear me? Great. Good afternoon, everyone. And I want to thank the Supportive Housing Network and Deb and all of my colleagues in the industry for the invitation to join you today. I'd love to acknowledge my NYCHA colleagues here. If you just wave your hands. Kathy Pennington, who actually runs our leased housing program, also known as Section 8, has really, I think, turned around a pretty moribund program in just a short 16 months. And we're proud to say, our Section 8 program is now completely electronic and, just more an impressive sort of modernization efforts that she and her team are doing. And my other colleagues here are here to answer any other questions that you might have. So again, my name is Shola Olatoye, and I'm really pleased to be here to talk about an issue that is near and dear to my heart. I've spent my career working on issues committed concerning vulnerable communities, low-income communities, and it is quite fitting to be talking about this issue as the head of the New York City Housing Authority. I would say someone said the OG, one of the original providers of supportive housing, if I could use that term, and I think I might. The Housing Authority is, as many of you know, about 1 in 10 New Yorkers are touched by the New York City Housing Authority. We have more than 2,600 buildings in every corner of the city, more than 11,000 employees, 25% of whom actually live in our buildings. Our role in this city is integral to the future, I believe, of the city. We contribute about $6 billion a year to the New York City economy. And so when you think about the importance of a home to people and to people's lives, the New York City Housing Authority has played that role for now what is our 80th year in millions of people's lives across the city. Given that context, it's also critical that we save it. And we have a lot of work to do. We face significant and persistent structural deficits that I'm sure in another part of the presentation I can share with you. But a major focus for us is how do we ensure that our housing and as part of the mayor's housing plan and the housing team, how do we support the mayor's vision to provide supportive housing? And so one of the things that I have heard as I've begun my listening tour, and I think today is my 90th day, actually, so it's fitting to be with friends.
It only feels like 9 months.
Particularly this week. As I've gone through to every borough, to more than 32 developments, and I've really begun the process, the mandate that the mayor gave me of resetting the relationships with our core stakeholders, namely our tenants, our community partners, our financial partners on down. And I've heard a number of things. One, for us, more than a third of our population are people over the age of 62. And so we have a significant aging in place population in our buildings today. They are vulnerable, both physically and in other ways. And so how do we ensure that population is taken care of and can age in place with grace? During the last administration, NYCHA was pleased to be a part of the Mayor's Housing Place Plan, and we, in concert with many of you in this room, actually built more than 375 units of supportive and senior housing, including Van Dyke houses with Canva and Dunn Development at Highbridge. So there are really interesting models of supportive housing within our portfolio and next to our buildings. One of my tasks will be to figure out how we replicate those and do even more as part of the housing plan and as part of our preservation and development plan. And also as part of that, focusing on our core business of being one of the city's largest private landlord. And as I said, third, really developing our own preservation and development plan that really, I believe, preserves NYCHA for the next generation of New Yorkers. So I'd be happy to talk more specifically, but I hope that gives a context of our objectives today.
That's